Hey everyone, welcome back to my Godot platformer series. Today we're adding a pause menu. It's going to be very simple. It's going to let you pause and resume the game. We're going to add some volume sliders because in our last video, or as in our upcoming video, which will be our last video for this series, we're going to be creating an audio system. So we're going to need those sliders in place so that we can just connect them and not have to readjust anything. So what it be looking like when you're done is you'll just be able to press escape. It'll pause. You got your sliders that don't do anything right now, and then your resume button, you can either press that or you can press escape and it'll go back to the game. Alright, so let's jump in. Let's start out by closing that, as that was the showcase, right? Let's create a new scene. In this scene, we're going to click on Other Node. We're going to add a control node, just like we did for the main menu. We're going to adjust our anchor preset to be full rectangle, and then we're going to name this to be, excuse me, pause menu. Let's go ahead and press Control S to save. Let's go to our scenes folder and save it here in our scenes folder. Make sure it says pause menu, just like so. Alright, now we're going to need to add a background, so we're going to go ahead and add a color rectangle. This color rectangle we're going to set to be full rectangle as well for the anchor preset. Now it's completely white, but if we come over here to the inspector, we can change the color. We'll click on that, and down here in the hex key, so the first 6 numbers are going to change the color, right? So we want it to be black, but we want it to be translucent, right? So after the 60, if we just type in 80, it's going to adjust our transparency to be about 50%. So if we click on it now, you'll see that the alpha value, those last 2 numbers control the alpha value, and so you're going to want to do that, or you can just manually just slide the alpha value down to 128 or type it in there, right? So now that we have that, what we're going to do is add a VBox container. So add child node, we're going to type in VBox container. We're going to go ahead and make sure this anchor preset is centered. We're also going to add in here, we're going to add a button. This is going to be the resume button. It's going to say resume in it, just like that. In our VBox container, we're also going to add a label, and this is going to say music. We're going to add an H slider, okay, and then we're going to change the label to be music label. Our H slider will be music H slider, and we can just duplicate both of those. We'll delete the word music from the copy and type in FF blah 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 FX. There we go, words. All right. I guess those are letters, but you know what I mean. All right. Now in our FX label, we're going to want to change that to SFX. Our music, we'll just type in BGM, background music. All right. That's a common term that's used. Alright, now what we're going to want to do next is toggle our visibility of the pause menu to be off. Okay, off. So we're going to go ahead and press Control S to save our changes. Next thing we're going to be doing is adding some code in. Alright, so let's click on the pause menu. Let's add a script. We're going to make sure it says pause menu for the name, but change the path to be in our scripts folder. and then press create. So the first thing we're going to want to do is add a variable, right? And this is going to be at export variable pause underscore key. That string that it's going to look for is going to be pause, which we haven't set up yet, but we will. So in our ready function, we're going to go ahead and drag over this resume button, and we're going to say .pressed.connect, and then in here we're going to have a function that we haven't created yet, and so let's go ahead and create that now. That function is going to be function on resume pressed, right? And in here, what we're gonna have is, what we're gonna do is we're gonna tell it to get the tree dot and parentheses dot pause, and we're gonna set that equal to false, and then we're gonna toggle the visibility visible equals false, and that's gonna be it for that part. So now we can in here put on resume press, delete those extra parentheses. Alright, now the next thing that we're going to do is in above our resume, we need to create one more function. So function toggle pause, and in this we're going to get tree dot pause is equal to not get tree dot paused. It's going to toggle the pause menu, and then we're going to set the visibility which will show the pause menu. And then in here we're going to say if, in this process we're going to say if input.is underscore action underscore just pressed, and we're going to be looking for the pause key. Then we're going to do the thing, and that thing is toggle the pause, not toggle pause. Alright, go ahead and press Control S to save. Now we need to set up that input, so go up here to project settings, and we're going to click on input map, right? And we already have this because I was for the demo, so I can show you what it's going to look like. So let's delete this. You should be familiar because we created actions before, but just in case you're not, what we're going to do is we're going to type in a new action in here, and we're going to, that action is going to be pause. Make sure that you spell it the exact same as you did in the code, right? So I put a lowercase p in the code, so I'm going to put a lowercase p in the name, and I'm going to press add. The next thing I'm going to do is press this plus button, and I'm just going to press the escape key on my keyboard, and you'll see that it listens for it and recognizes what I pressed. I'm going to just go ahead and press OK, and then press close. And let's go to our level 1. This is already in here from the old one. We're going to delete that and bring in the new one. And so let's click here. Let's go ahead and instantiate it. I just got to find it. There it is. Assets, scenes, pause menu. Press open. I'm going to drag this up here at the top of the UI. Okay. And it's still invisible. We are going to need to make it visible for a second, because see, it pops up here. We want it to be where it's visible to the player in the camera. And now look at, it's actually being drawn behind everything. So what we're going to do is, with the pause menu selected, actually let's do this in our pause menu. Click on your pause menu, go to ordering here under canvas item, ordering, and change the Z index to 1. That way it draws it on top of everything, and then the process what we want to do is change this process to always. Alright, and then go ahead and just save those. And what we should see now is if we click on level 1, see, now it's drawn on top. Okay, let's go ahead and run our current scene. Alright, so it's there, right? But we need to hide, we forgot to hide it. So let's go ahead and hide it, or toggle the visibility. Alright, go back and run the scene. We press escape, it pauses. We press escape, it unpauses. We press resume while it's paused, and it unpauses. Just like that. And that's it. We now have a fully functional pause menu for our platformer game. In the next and final tutorial, we're going to set up an audio system and get those volume sliders working for real. If you found this helpful, like and subscribe for more tutorials. Let me know in the comments what tutorials in Godot you'd like to see next. But until then, keep building, keep learning. I'll see you in the next one.